Yesterday evening in our midweek service, we talked about Philippians 4:1, which kind of joins with this topic. Therefore, my brethren, dearly beloved and longed for, my joy and my crown, so stand fast in the Lord, my dearly beloved. So that thought right there, if Paul could have some loving advice for any of us, he would say, stand fast in the Lord, stand fast in Jesus. Like take your stand in him. And why does he say that? And I want to, I hope you're awake enough for this thought, but I want to just bring in a well-known verse and maybe just give a picture with it that's maybe a little different. It's just some foundation for meditation. So Galatians 5:1, it says, stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. So I love that verse. That's one of my very favorite verses in the Bible. It's awesome, and I believe I have preached on it on a lot of occasions. And so stand fast in Jesus. Why? Because there in him you have freedom. You have a freedom which you wouldn't have outside of him. When you stand in Jesus, you are actually standing in liberty. And this is so funny, because in the world's eyes, we are limited, quote unquote, limited to Jesus. The world looks at us and says, you can only do what Jesus wants. You can only walk with Jesus. You can only, you understand, you know what they say. Jesus, but this is only their view, because the world is kind of like you can imagine like a flat sheet, okay, like the top of a table, a large table where everybody lives, okay. But then Jesus is like an infinitely tall building in the middle of that flat surface. And I hope it's not. It's just a picture I'm giving you, but I think it's a good picture. Those who live in the world, they only see the cross section where Jesus intersects their reality, and they only see the cross, and that's it. And they say, how very limited. That's all this is about. But they have no concept of height. They don't know what this other direction is. So they don't know anything about the reality of Jesus. They just see Jesus as one who has intersected their world, and that's it. And that's a little bit of the reality of Jesus. It's a tiny tiliver of reality of Jesus. But we who have entered into Jesus in 1 Corinthians 1:30, we are in him. We found a new degree of freedom, one we didn't used to know of. The upward direction. We found this ability to move in, and it's an infinite freedom, really. This plane, this world that we're talking about, this is limited, very limited, and it has clear boundaries that you cannot go beyond. But in Jesus, you find a freedom that didn't used to be there. Standing in Jesus, when you're sticking with the truth and reality of Jesus, then you are sticking to this freedom which we have found and in which we can now move. So stand fast in Jesus, because then you're standing fast in this new liberty. And if you're exercising yourself in this new dimension, the spiritual dimension, then you are actually standing in Jesus. And the world doesn't understand. They say, oh, you're so limited. And our answer is, oh, you have no idea what's here. You have no idea about the height and the infinity that is in Jesus. And indeed they don't. But this is why we talk to them about the Lord. So God bless your day with that thought.